who is a founder of Dietwise. We are going to discuss a topic which is very common, but still many mothers have a complaint of their children not recovering well. Fever in children with some symptoms and treatments. At Baby Chakra, we are always believing, getting the right guidance from the right expert. And in this today, we have a discussion with a dietitian who has a lot of experience, and she is going to give you simple tips and tricks of how to help your child to sail through a fever, even if there is winters, season changes, and many more reasons for your child catching fever frequently. I welcome Zarna to this session. Zarna, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Dr. Pooja. Thank you so much for having me over. And like you said, I'm the founder of Dietwise. Dietwise is basically a completely nutrition-based solution clinic. So we give diet solutions, nutrition solutions, evidence-based nutrition particularly for all kinds of requirements, ranging from weight-related issues to clinical ailments to even pediatric diet, geriatric, antenatal, everything. Okay, so it's all under one roof, all the solutions. I am into this, what do you say, the practice is almost 18 years old now. So, yeah, I have had a long journey in this field and I have touched upon many aspects, not just the private practice. I have been into hospitals, I have run even gyms, I have written some manuals as well. I have been into recipe creating and also associated with many doctors for research. So, and I have had a stint on television also with Food Channel for 3 years. I was on board with them for lots of shows. So, yeah, this is me. And I'm a master's in nutrition and dietetics. I think nowadays to give your credentials is also very important because there have been a lot of diploma holders and certified nutritionists also. I'm a master's. I'm an MSc in dietetics and nutrition.
Wow, with such a beautiful background, Sarna, I am very much sure that you are going to help our mom and our viewers to answer and crack these questions for today. Since winters have begun, and maybe in Mumbai we may not feel that so the impact, but in the north, in the south, there has been chill air, and people, children especially, are getting affected because of the age as one of the factors. So, can you just guide me for what kind of symptoms should a mother look for her child if they are having fever?
See, fever, like we know, there can be a lot of sources, like causes of fever, rather. Could be bacterial, could be microbial, could be just an autoimmune thing. So, now every fever has its own course of action. But the common symptoms, what we come across, generally, it starts with cough and cold. That is one of the most common symptoms we see. If not cough and cold, there could be a sudden weakness also. You might find your kid suddenly being not as active as he or she is usually. So there is weakness, there is a bit of low feeling the child goes through, there is crankiness at times. There is also sometimes you may notice their eyes, they it turns red or their nose
Yes,
starts running. Yeah, so there could be also loss of appetite. One of the again a very
right.
key signs of something is coming. Something is not going right in the body. Yeah,
Hmm.
so these are your usual signs and symptoms we get to see.
Right. When it comes to a mother is, trying to feed, but she's unable to. So, I'm coming to my next part of the question is like, what what do we give to a child who is having fever? Many mothers just give a bland khichdi and the child is like, mama nahi khana hai. So can you help us out, what type of diet does really work for fever?
Yeah, I am a mother of 11-year-old. I have seen lots of such issues personally, also, not just as a dietitian. So I can completely relate to this problem. But you know what? There is one mistake. What we do is we try to feed a lot of solids when it comes to fever. When actually your child and its body both needs more of liquids. The
Okay.
hydration is the key.
Okay.
When a fever strikes and the first 2 to 3 days, there is heavy water loss in terms of from the skin, that is because of the high temperature plus the sweat, because when your fever starts going down again, there's a lot of sweat coming out. Plus, there could be diarrhea, there could be vomiting along with it, there could be lack of water intake also. So, first 2 to 3 days, you should only focus in giving them liquids and semi-solid foods. And in
Okay.
liquids, you can give them variety of things, and I'm sure they will have much more willingness to have the liquids than the solids. So giving them different spiced soups. By spiced soups, I specifically mean something which is infused with ginger, garlic, pepper. This is something going to be very, very useful for them. Even cardamom, cinnamon are something very, very novel spices for fever. You could give them buttermilk, but the buttermilk has to be room temperature, not the cold buttermilk or the packed buttermilk. It should be just regular temperature, fresh buttermilk. You can give them even sattu water is immensely good. You can add some black salt and lemon in sattu water because that adds the electrolytes as well as protein together at the same time. You could also just give them a bowl of dahi chawal. Now dahi chawal, you can always put some nice tadka over it because that will not only give the flavor but it will also add some MCTs because you can use some coconut oil with it. So
Right.
this is one of these things you can do. You could do coconut water for sure. There is a very very good way to add natural electrolytes through using nimbu pani. Now many times
Okay.
kids don't like the ORS formula and the electrol what we get, the ready ones. And I personally feel the effect of nimbu salt and bit of sugar together in water is much better than giving the ORS directly to a
Absolutely.
sick child.
Absolutely.
So this
Because
is
natural is always better than whatever we have got as preservatives.
yes, but just one thing, try and give them more of whole fruits. Many times we somewhere we try and give them too much of fruit juices, like watermelon juice and orange juice or mixed fruit juice. Now what happens when you're giving too much of fruit juices? There will be high sugar which is going in the body. Now high sugar will increase the diarrhea. At the same time, it will also increase the dehydration from the stomach because sugar pulls up the water more. So the child, rather than feeling energetic, it will have a very, very sudden dip in energy. So it gives a surge, but it gives a very, very sharp decrease in energy also. So try and refrain from giving too much of fruit juices.
Right, very rightly said. So mother was asking me ki if is it possible to avoid any kind of foods uh, that we need to avoid for the child who is suffering from fever. What is your thought on this?
Yeah. So first thing which is to juices that this holds true for all kinds of sugary drinks. So the kids might ask for the Tetra Pak, or what we get over the counter juices or those fruities and the cold drinks, what we call those should be definitely avoided. And along with this, caffeinated drinks like cold coffee and tea and stuff should be avoided. Too much of fried food, very, very oily food, food which is laden with cream and cheese should be avoided. Don't give them very, very highly spicy food, especially which is more of chili based. Then avoid because that might rupture the lining even more because in fever already their throat is a little bit sore. So we don't want to, aggravate the problem.
With this we understand that we have to be a little careful to whatever choices we are offering our children so that we as mothers don't over pamper our child. And with this, Zarna, there is a mother who is very curious to know whether we can we introduce spicy food to our children during fever. So how can you help me with this?
Yeah. So now what happens when we say spicy? There are two categories of spicy. Spicy in the nature being hot, and then there is spicy which is which is like the sensation of spiciness which comes, the taste, the spicy taste. So refrain from giving things which are spicy in taste. Like I just said, green chilies, red chilies, overuse of peppers should be avoided. Giving them too much of hot sauces definitely avoid, because what happens, not during the fever but after the fever is gone, there are many times there are complaints of small ulcerations
Right.
in the throat or even in the lining of your mouth. So these all spices might go and backfire after the fever kind of, goes down. But giving spices which are antifungal in nature, which are antiseptic in nature, like ginger, garlic, some small quantity of pepper, even cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg. These are something which are recommended during fever. So whatever food you're giving, try and inculcate these flavors into it.
Okay, that's a very, very valid point to all our moms, because when you're talking about fever in small babies, I think these are the spices which can be given, and we are generally avoiding red chili and green chili.
Right.
Thank you, Zarna, for taking through thank you for the detailing of the diet and the symptoms and the ways how it is to be treated. The tips were very, very wonderful that you have given to us over here, and I believe that the mothers who have joined us or for the session today got a good takeaway. But before we conclude, I would like you to give us a small message for the moms to as a takeaway, which they can remember and they can implement it whenever the child has fever.
Okay. So I always believe in prevention, then cure. That is the funda of diet wise, and as a general message of any diet based solution when we talk about. So rather than just working on the acute problem, always work through the year in building up the child's immunity. So, like trying and balancing their foods, not completely saying no to the wrong foods, at the same time, trying to keep giving the right foods in the right balance, making sure their activity, their meal timings are always in sync, it is scheduled. All these things, and most importantly, the sleep. All these things make up a very, very important skeleton to build your immunity. Now, depending on how good your immunity is, will be your potential of getting over the illness, whether it is fever or anything. So immunity will not basically prevent you from falling sick always, but it will help you in kind of going through the issue to kind of to carry your this body in a more better way out of the illness, and more faster if you have a good immunity to start with. And second most important point is that many times we only take care when the illness strikes, when the fever is very high. We will be very, really kind of we get too anxious, and we are working very hard, but we somewhere we get too casual and too lax after the fever goes away. Now
Correct.
after the fever goes away, there's lot of recovery happening from inside. So
Correct.
here comes the role of your protein, here comes the role of your vitamin C, your vitamin A foods, even your good quality fats, your complex carbohydrates. Try and work on a post fever diet as enthusiastically as you are doing with the fever.
Very, very rightly and very you said that, getting back on toes with the vigor and with slow steps will definitely, make your health in a better way, and it will give you the support to work or to carry out any other activity. With this, we come to the end of the session. For Zarna, it was wonderful having your views on Baby Chakra. It has helped a million moms, and definitely, I believe that they can reach out to you at any given point of time through our app. And I also urge our viewers to download the app and reach out to Zarna for any queries related to nutrition, child nutrition, weight loss. She has 18 years of experience, and that will definitely help you all and guide you all through a better way. So, thank you for joining me live over here. It was wonderful having you through the session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pooja.
Bye. Have a lovely day.
Bye. Wishing you.